Hello everyone, thank you for coming to our presentation. My name is Silgi Kim and today I'm going to introduce our paper, Multi-level and Multimodal Action Anticipation. You can see more information about this paper in the project page at our lab website. Action anticipation is the task of predicting the future actions given a partially observed video. To be specific, if we have a video X consisting of large T frames, the goal is to observe the partial video with lengths of small t frames and predict future frames from small t plus 1 to large t. For example, from frame 1 to small t, the woman opens the refrigerator and takes out a carton of milk. From this partial observation, we should anticipate what comes next from small t plus 1 to large T, which is bring milk and add milk. The major challenge in action anticipation is that it is often difficult to clearly understand which action is currently happening in the video. This is what we refer to as action ambiguity. When the observed action is ambiguous, there can be multiple possible futures, which leads to increased uncertainty in anticipation. To successfully address this challenge, it is crucial to understand the hierarchical structure of action. Actions can be decomposed into a sequence of fine-grained sub-actions. This hierarchical breakdown makes the temporal structure more explicit and meaning more precise. Additionally, if we incorporate text as an additional modality to describe these sub-actions, the semantics become even clearer. This is because compared to the visual signals that only shows motion, text can identify its sub-actions. For example, by disambiguating the sub-actions into adding flour, adding sugar, adding milk, and cracking an egg, we now interpret target action as mixing ingredients. By leveraging both multi-level decomposition and multimodal signals, we can effectively reduce action ambiguity. Our contributions in this work are as follows. We introduce M&M and multi-level and multimodal action anticipation framework that incorporates two concepts. First, a multi-level architecture that decomposes coarse actions into fine-grained sub-actions. Second, a multimodal fusion framework that aligns video and text representations. Also, we introduce a fine-grained text generator trained with a novel temporal consistency loss. Finally, we demonstrate consistent performance gains, achieving an average improvement of 3.08% over existing methods across 3 challenging benchmark datasets. This is the overall flowchart of our proposed architecture, M&M and. The input is a partially observed video, which is encoded into feature representations. These features are then passed through two components, a video segmentation module and a fine-grained text generator, and finally aligned in a multimodal anticipation module that predicts future actions. First, the video encoder projects the raw video input into a d-dimensional feature space. In our implementation, we use ResNet as the backbone encoder. These extracted features are fed into the video segmentation module, which outputs frame-wise action labels such as get ingredients or mix ingredients. The module consists of a stack of transformer layers, specifically multi-head self-attention, layer normalization, and feed-forward layers, which learn to assign an action label that corresponds to each frame. Next, the fine-grained text generator takes the video features and generates texts that describe fine-grained subactions such as check refrigerator, add flour, and crack an egg. This module is also built using transformer layers, particularly multi-head self-attention. To train the fine-grained text generator, we introduce a novel temporal consistency loss. This is because of the specific structure of fine-grained subactions in the representation space that I will explain in the next slide. Before we decompose actions into fine-grained subactions, all frames are clustered together in the representation space regardless of their temporal order or underlying meaning. In contrast, after we decompose the actions into fine-grained subactions like add flour, add milk, and add flour, the model can clearly separate adding flour from adding milk, and each subaction forms a distinct cluster. Particularly, even frames representing the same subactions, which is adding flour in this case, are split into different clusters depending on when they occur. This suggests that temporal information is crucial in shaping the fine-grained subaction representation space. To enforce this structure, we need to go beyond the standard cross-entropy loss. This is because, as shown in A, the standard cross-entropy loss treats all frames with the same subaction label as identical regardless of when they occur. So, we introduce temporal consistency loss, which we combine with the conventional cross-entropy loss. This loss consists of two components. Intra-cluster consistency loss, which pulls feature representations within the same subaction cluster together, and inter-cluster separation loss, which pushes representations from different clusters apart. Finally, all modalities are aligned in a multimodal anticipation module, which predicts future actions such as mix ingredients and bake pancake. Specifically, we combine information from each modality using self-attention and cross-attention layer. We conducted experiments on three challenging benchmark datasets. First, we chose breakfast datasets since it captures a wide range of kitchen environments in real-world settings. Second, we chose 50 salads because of its detailed, fine-grained subaction structure. Finally, AI presents the most challenging setting as it reflects untrimmed, unconstrained, and real-world activity sequences. Especially, we chose the AI dataset for our experiments since the AI dataset was collected using 12 different sensors across 50 different subjects in diverse environments, reflecting the real-world conditions. Across all datasets, M&M consistently outperformed baseline models. Even under low observation ratios, our model demonstrated strong predictive performance. On average, we achieved a 3.08% improvement in accuracy. Through ablation studies, we confirmed the advantage of using fine-grained labels. Compared to using only coarse labels, extracting and leveraging sub-actions led to more accurate and consistent predictions. We also observed that incorporating the text modality enables the model to capture clearer semantics, especially in cases of ambiguous actions. In conclusion, We introduce M&M and multi-level and multimodal action anticipation framework. We demonstrate that by combining vision and text and by structurally decomposing actions, we can achieve better anticipation performance. We believe that semantically grounded representations and cross-modal interactions will be essential directions for the future of action anticipation research. Thank you for listening to my presentation, and for more information, please come to our project page to see detailed introduction of my paper. And also, please visit the RAI dataset project page to see the detailed explanation of the RAI dataset.